Hey guys, I'm back and today I will be doing a tutorial on and review on the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour full coverage foundation. So let me show you my skin. My skin is blemished. It's not focusing. Hold on. So you can see here I have really blemished skin. It's just really active right now. And I'll show you how this covers it, and I'll show you my thoughts on this foundation itself. There's, you know, with every foundation there's a pro and con to everything. So first off, I already just washed my face and I put on the Body Shop Tea Tree Skin Clearing Moisturizer. Also, what I'm using, I'm sampling the Tarte, I think it's the Tarte Primer. Let's see. Yeah, it's the Tarte Clean Slate Poreless Primer. And if the primer feels good, I feel like it's like any other primer, but a little bit thicker. And so we'll see how I've been using actually this foundation with that primer, and I'll do a review of this foundation after I show you guys how to put this on and you know, my tips and tricks after using this foundation for about 3 to 4 weeks. Alright, so first off, I like to shake it even though it's super duper thick, and so I don't know if anything's being shaken in there, but I just am used to shaking up my foundations. So here's a close look of my skin while I shake this guy up here. My forehead is really clear. I have some blemishes right here. My nose area, surprisingly, has been really clear. It's just my cheeks. I will take pictures. Before and after pictures will be after this. So stay tuned and you can see how my face will look. Okay. So after it's been shaken for a while, what I like to do is just place a good amount on my hand right here. So I usually do about that much. And whatever's that tiny amount that's left on the lid, I usually like to scoop that out. And I just start to lay it on my face. So let me cap this. And I really like the packaging, by the way. This little bamboo lid, so cute. And I like this side here where it shows you how much foundation you have left. I think I haven't reached this part yet, so I don't know if it really is a meter to see how much foundation you have left. But if it is, it's pretty cool. Okay, so I have this much on my hand here. And I like to work it in on my hand a little bit because the warmth of my hand and my fingers really just creates a nice you know, texture to it. It's really thick. Look how it just holds. Can you guys see that? It just holds, and it's really thick foundation. It's probably one of the thickest foundations I have tried in a really long time. So I just like to put it on my hand. And what I do is I lay it onto my face. And I kind of spread it out with my fingers first. Now, what I like to use with this foundation is my Borghese from Costco stippling brush. It's a really nice brush, and it helps the foundation like even out on my face. So after I spread the foundation out, I go in and I just work the foundation into my face. A really great thing about this foundation is that it matches the color of my skin like almost perfectly, and it's probably the closest match to my skin a foundation has ever been. So I love that, and I love how, you know, I can do less blending onto my neck because it matches my skin so well. One thing about this foundation though is that it's just so thick that you have to use a brush or another tool and not just your fingers. And that's one thing that, you know, it's just an extra thing if you're on a budget, if you don't want to buy brushes. It's just hard to spread this foundation out with your hand because it gets so streaky, and you can tell where the foundation lies if you don't buff it out with some kind of brush. And I've been trying this foundation with different brushes, and it's just not, it doesn't work as well. And I also tried it with a sponge, and I don't like that method either. So the best one for me, method for me would be patting it on with my hand, spreading it out, like helping it work into my skin, and then buffing it all out with the stippling brush. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just gonna go all around my face and my forehead. I'm buffing in the circular motion because I don't have any blemishes, and so it's kind of nice to have the thick coverage of this foundation not stick onto my blemishes, and so that's why I'm that's why I'm bluffing it out like this. Wait. I'm playing poker too much, I think. That's why I'm blending it out and buffing it out. Goodness, that took like 2 whole minutes. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that for my entire face, and I'll show you the first layer on my skin. Okay guys, so this is the first layer on my skin. I'm just blending it onto my neck now. So it did reduce in redness on my blemishes, but it's for the thickness of the foundation, I'm surprised that it doesn't cover my blemishes more than you think it would, right? And I'm sorry for this yellow lighting. I mean, I'm already Asian and I'm already yellow, and so this lighting definitely does not help. But again, there will be pictures which will definitely show you guys how I actually look. So yeah, I'm just gonna add, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a second layer to all my blemishes and just make sure they're more covered up. So just get a little bit more on my hand here. About half the amount that I started out with. Okay, and do the same thing, just work it in. And then I'm gonna dot all the spots where I need extra coverage. Okay, and after dotting on all those spots, what I like to do is just go in with the same brush and just tapping it and working it into the skin. Concentrating in the area that you want to cover that blemish. With the foundation this thick, I personally don't recommend you doing a whole second layer on your entire face, just because this foundation is so thick that it will make you look really cakey. And so this is just a method that I found that works for me, where I'm just covering a second layer on my blemished areas. Okay guys, this is the second layer on my blemishes. Oh, hold on, there's a door. Sorry guys for the interruption, that was just my boyfriend. But anyways, I changed direction so that I'm facing the light, so maybe you can see my skin a little bit better here. This is that first coat of foundation with the second coat on top of my blemishes. So yeah, that's what I usually do, and then I top everything off and set it with guess what it is? The L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. I love this thing. I already hit the pan and I need to get another one. This one I'm in a W4. Oh, did I tell you guys what color I was in? This one I'm in medium, and the Sephora girl matched my skin tone, and that's why probably it matches so well. And that's why I love buying foundations in a high-end store, because you get to try it. Not like a drugstore where I'm always guessing what it is. But yeah, this foundation is nice. I wrote out actually a whole list of pros and cons about this foundation. So a great thing about it is full coverage, but it does need a second layer on your blemishes. It has a really nice fluffy texture. There's SPF in it. There's actually SPF 15 in it, so it's really nice if you have blemished skin and you go out into the sun. At least you have an added layer of protection. It feels really sheer when you buff it into the skin, and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing heavy makeup foundation. And even though it's a really thick formula and it's full coverage, it's still really nice that it feels sheer, and that's why I really like it. Initially, it doesn't crease into the dry areas of my blemishes, but throughout the day, it does seem to settle into the dry areas of my blemishes. Also, it says that it's a 12-hour foundation. Now, it's not 12 hours for me. By midday, I have to blot because I'm like an oil grease ball, even with my primer. And then by the end of the day, I can tell that the makeup is breaking down a little bit more than, of course, what it was like when I just applied it. And so, I don't think it's a 12-hour foundation, even with this cold weather in Seattle, and I'm not even sweating yet, right? So I don't think it's a 12-hour foundation for me. It's hard, in a sense. The foundation is not very buildable because it's such a thick formula that once it goes on, it's like it's on. You can't add a second whole layer to your face to build it to a nice, you know, coverage. And that's how I feel about the foundation. Really, it's a great foundation, but it's a little too thick for my skin, and for the coverage that it gives me, I rather just go with a more sheer formula and build it up, and that way I can control my coverage a little bit more than this one. Because if I try to build up with this one anymore, it would just, I would look like a cake pop. So yeah, I hope you guys like this foundation tutorial and review, and make sure to look at the pictures at the end, because for sure the quality will be a lot better and you can see what my skin looks like. And so yeah, if you guys have any other questions about this foundation, just comment below. I will answer you. And yeah, I look forward to doing more tutorials and reviews for you guys, and hope to see you guys later.